Oh, it's party time! Oh, party time. Here we go. Let me fix that light up. We've all had enough partying. Just having a bit of a play around. They've got all these different lights, but I did like. I wanted to start it off with a party. You dead set legends. Thank you for Ryan Bowen. I kind of wish I knew about the impromptu live because I would have watched more about it. Look at all these fancy lights. But let's just, there we go. Yeah, all righty. Alrighty, let's rock and roll as Ryan finishes up there. And, of course, I've got to keep so much is going to happen on this show because, I'm keeping this time slot around this time slot because hopefully sooner rather than later, your dead set legends, the official Maximum Bang Monday will come up. But the leaderboard for the Caption Game has been updated. So let me just sort a couple of things out, you dead set legends, and we'll give the actual proper introduction. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, so much is going to happen today. Welcome to the Ready Bang, the number one arm wrestling live stream podcast in the world. I'm your host, the Aussie Arm Wrestler, and as always, I am your 2019 Melbourne Cup left arm 80 to 95 kilo, third place amateur. This is my retirement fund, this bad boy, and it's going to go international real soon if I can fix myself up. Let me just quickly thank my Patreon and YouTube bangers who just found out about my next 4 guests, which I'll announce a little bit later on for you guys. So you better get a pen and paper out and pencil that shit in because I have got some absolute ripper guests. But for these guys, for as little as 50 cents a week, you are supporting the Aussie Arm Wrestler so I can continue to hang and bang, sling and slang. Guys, give us a ready bang in the chat. Let me tell you exactly what is going on today. We're going to try and work out some arm wrestling maths. I'm going to ask you a few questions in the chat. We're going to try and work out collectively, together, as a unit, and find out if we can work out through arm wrestling maths who is number 2 in the world. I'm going to share a few things with me, and I'm going to ask you guys some questions. Also, 2 versions of the Caption Game today with an update of the Caption leaderboard. And then we're going to play Would You Rather. I'm going to put a photo up. I'm just going to ask some ridiculous questions. I haven't even thought of the questions, and we can go from there. A quick update from me. If you weren't around yesterday, I fell down the stairs. I had a fucking proper launch and fell down the stairs, so I can barely walk at the moment. So I'm still going to make content, still going to do lives, and I've got probably another 3 lives this week. And I'll once a few more come in the chat, I will let you know who those 3 are. 2 of them haven't been on the show. One of them is arguably number 2 in the world. That's how it's going to go. But if you are one of my Patreon or YouTube bangers, don't let anyone know who's coming on the show. Let me announce it and let me get up and about. First of all, for everyone that jumped on before the live and had a chat, you guys were awesome. You disagreed with each other, but it was just, I was sitting there and I was trying to watch Ryan's live. I was trying to get down some questions. I was trying to run around. But you dead set legends were having an intelligent conversation. You didn't agree with each other, but go check it out. It was awesome. It was awesome. Right, now let me scroll back and let me say g'day to a lot of people. What have we got? Fighter Frank says, hit the like on the way in, my friends. Sasquatch is just be right back. Hello to all the dudes. Joe Nilo, what's going on, Jake? A lot is going on. A lot, man. Just busy. Can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me. Just really enjoying life at the moment. Busy with work, trying to work out this injury booked in to see the surgeon. And after East versus West, hopefully we will have a date of when I can just get my hips replaced, because that fall down the stairs and not being able to help my wife or my daughter has absolutely fucked me. Not my monkey, not my circus, says hail Aussie and hail the chat. When we get to it, when we start talking about number 2, Devon should be out of the conversation. Lagia, with all due respect, I disagree, but that is okay. As soon as I join this channel, I immediately feel cheated. What do you mean? What do you mean, Farley? I don't get it. I don't get that. Ready, bang, says Dan John. What's up, Jake? You dead set. Mofo. Devon's forearms in the chat. Make it 10 p.m. my time, mate. Okay. Perhaps a match between Gennady and Devon is in order for the number 2 spot. Will Uncle John Joy? No, he's having a couple of weeks off, minimum, just refresh. You know, he's been doing this for 3 years straight. So, he's just going to do some things and just really switch off for it for 2 weeks. And then he'll come on Maximum Bang Monday. Don't worry about it. Marcus Thompson, all you guys are over at Ryan's channel. I wish I watched it all because I love Ryan and Lockie, and I love it when they go together. So really appreciate them. Solid gold trophy, which is awesome. Danger Cooper. What's up, Aussie? Devon's on the mix at heavyweight, though, for sure, but not in the open. Thomas Miles, good day to you and your family. Good day to you. Yes, we all need it, Josh. We all need to buy Marcus some dollars, and I will in September. Just waiting for confirmation from Uncle John. Here we go. We have every Australian tennis player in Atlanta. I'm going on Thursday. That's pretty cool. That is very cool. What else have we got? Everyone's just quickly saying hi to each other. Arm wrestling maths, where it's going to go in there. So this is a fun thing, and we'll get to the old circle of death. How would Gennady even be considered for number 2 if Ermi smacked him? Well, how would Ermi be considered for number 2 because Alex smacked him? How could Alex be considered for number 2 because Dave smacked him? How could Dave be considered for number 2 because Gennady smacked him? So it is a very weird thing. John Brazink's on live as well. That's okay, guys. That is okay. John Brazink is the man. And he's on with Chance. Well, everyone's just being cool. All righty. So I'll give you. So this is, I think it's the same as everyone else. Let me just find the picture. So this is my top 8 in the world, of course. Levan Saganishvili, Devon Larratt, Vitali, Dimitri. This is in no particular order, by the way, before you all start having a crack at me. So this is in no particular order, but this is my top 8 in the world. I was really struggling for a 9th and 10th because I didn't want to forget everyone. I need a proper study of it. So this is my top 8 in the world. Now, if we go through one individually, as Mrs. Aussie Arm Wrestler just gives me a ready bang. Shane. I'll tell you what, if this isn't one of the biggest compliments ever, I don't know what is. We'll watch the GOAT tomorrow. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's a very massive compliment there. Right. So if we go through them all, and the hottest topic of the conversation is where Devon sits. Where does Devon sit? Now, you can make arguments for Devon that he's number 2 in the world, and you can make arguments that he's not. At the time of challenging him, you could argue that he was number 2 or number 3. Devon put himself at number 3. Hang on, let's have I just need to read this from the Drew. Jake, have John the Goat stream up and you can make comments on some key things. If you can have audio only, you can hear. Oh, no, that's all right. Just hope you and Zadie are keeping well. Thank you. All righty. Nah, it's all right. It's all right, man. It'll be really interesting to see how many people I can keep interested here against the go. But when you're talking about Devon, now there's all this talk he didn't take on any European superstars, and when he did, the matches didn't go too well for him. But then other people argue that was a long time ago, so it becomes irrelevant. Now, you've got to understand, especially going over with the people when it's like Devon wouldn't pull European superstars. When speaking to Neil Pickup, you've got to understand that they're two different people. And two, Neil Pickup was saying that a lot of people did not want to have the match with Devon. They didn't feel that they were ready for having. Man, give us your opinions, and hopefully hopefully we can work it all out. What else have we got? So according to Enoch, it's Hermes or Gennady. Devon is not number 2. That's clear. He's dropping weight and everything. He's not even in the run at the moment. Just because he's dropping weight doesn't mean he's not number 2. But a very interesting argument. So yeah, so in the last couple of years, even if we just go off the last couple of years, for those that are making now, this is just a far out having a lot of fun with it. So if we just go off the last 2 years, because everyone's like, let's keep it relevancy, let's keep it in form. Devon pulled John Brzenk and he pulled Levan. So didn't work out for him against Levan. Levan pulled Dave Chafee and Devon Larratt. So, everyone's like, Devon doesn't pull Europeans, but then Levan only pulled Americans. But, Levan's number 1. You cannot doubt that. Undefeated in super matches, he's there. But with Devon, so if so many people, and I'd love to hear the names that were offered. Now, I'm just going off Neil's word. Now, if the names were offered for Devon, I want to know who they are, and that wouldn't happen. Now, the second question is, and everyone says Devon needs to pull at East versus West, and Devon needs to pull the top Europeans. Why can't the Europeans come to Devon? Most of the time when I've seen Devon pull Europeans, he has had to go over there. So why can't the Europeans come? I don't see too many Europeans coming to America to pull. So why can't that happen? Can anyone give me a valid? Now, I'm just throwing out questions there that for me should be answered. That just should be answered. So it's always Devon's got to go here, Devon's got to go there, Devon's got to go everywhere. Why can't they come to him? Why can't he have a world-class matchup in his own backyard? Because from my understanding, he hasn't had one. He had to pull John Brzenk in Dubai as well as Levan. WAL, well, he had to go to the States, which is kind of home ground advantage. A 5-hour flight, 6-hour flight's a lot better than a 15, 16 one. So no one wants to go to Canada. I don't blame the Europeans. They couldn't afford to bet on Levan. How can they afford a plane ticket? Jerry Cabalet says they're paid by the government. They aren't independent. Sasquatch and Macho Man are both agreeing. That is a good question. So, yeah, that is a good question. I just got to write something down to update something. Yeah, so... I've missed a lot of the comments, but that was one thing. Everyone's like, oh, he needs to go to East versus West, and he needs to go and pull all the top Europeans. Why can't they come to him? Now, I know Hermes wants to pull, and there's another one that is coming in. Hermes Gasparini wants to pull Devon Larratt. Now, by dropping weight, everyone says that he's ducking Devon. So my question I want to ask you guys. Hermes comes out. Hermes is at a stage now where he just wants to pull anyone and everyone if the money's right. Just like that, if the money's right there. So, how many times can you be challenged before your spot is given up? How long do you have to be inactive for before your spot is given up? And I'm very interested in this conversation because we've seen Levan and Devon, who are, well, Levan is number one, but Devon's arguably number two. They've only pulled twice in 2 years. So is it 18 months? If you go 18 months inactive, is that it? I mean, we did see Devon pull a tournament in between there. So how long, guys? How long until this happens? How long? How many times can you get challenged? And how long until your official spot? So if you're Vitaly, Vitaly's probably a bad example because he can't travel. If you are Devon and you are, say, okay, we've given you 6 months for your injury. That's a safe grace period. And then we go, right, bang, I challenge you. Nah, not happening. I challenge you. No, not happening. And the same person challenges him. How long? Let's see what people are saying. Dennis had 1 year prep for Levan and COVID year 2. Why'd keep it relevant when you couldn't even travel? Oh, these are just arguments, Steve. So some people are like, that match was ages ago. It doesn't even count. I understand like the Devon today. He's certainly different to the Devon back then. I mean, look at Hermes. Look at Hermes versus Matt Mask at WAL to Hermes now. Whoa. Huge difference. Lazy Hook, my man. Good to see him back in. He says, I would have Dave Chafee at number 2 in a best of 3 format. Best of 5 or 6, I just don't know. Luckadoo 79 says, what about Dimitri? We'll talk about Dimitri very soon. Because once again, what else have we got? I think Marcus Thomas says, I think he'll come down to the next weight category, but I see arm wrestling only part of the new stuff he will do. Yeah, Devon, I think he'll move into a lot of pop culture stuff over the next 12 to 24 months. He may have some left-handed matches, as I whipped out a video not that long ago. So, yeah, it is very, very interesting. I do not see Monster Michael Todd on your list. You must have made a mistake or a typo. On my top 8, Varley. So I'll put my top 8 again, and you tell me who you would take out of that. Oh, let me just remove your comment. Who would you take out of that? That's my top 8 in the world. Who would you take out for the Monster? Now, everyone knows I love the Monster. Everyone knows I love the Monster. And a ready bang. Yeah, excited about Cobra pulling in November. Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully I can be there as well. I'm still tempted. Still very tempted to just buy a ticket and go and just go. I'm very tempted to go to this East versus West. Now, Nikolai says he would take out Alex Kadecha for Monster Michael Todd, but Alex beat Hermes. Can you see where this goes? Can you see where our horrible arm wrestling mass comes in? It's very interesting. And I'll repeat it again. Dave beat Alex Kadecha. Alex Kadecha beat Hermes. Hermes beat Gennady. Gennady beat Dave. And we're back at it again. So it's just the mind-boggling. And then, okay, so while those 4 arm wrestlers are all playing around with each other, and if you go off recent matches as well, Devon beat Dave Chafee in arguably one of the ugliest double kings moves you will ever see. So we'll go from there. Now, this whole conversation will go in parts because I want to do this. Then I want to do like the first caption game because I'm going to show you guys a leaderboard as well. I've got an updated leaderboard. So the cycle is ridiculous. And now we do think that people are dodging each other, but you got to understand, like Monster Michael Todd wanted to pull Alex at the Monster Factory, but Alex is waiting for King of the Table matches to be released. So it's not like all of these guys aren't challenging matches, now that arm wrestling is getting so popular, scheduling conflicts, and because we've got 4 major networks all vying for the match to be at their one. King of the Table, Monster Factory, East versus West, Arm Wars. They're all wanting the matches. So it's very hard to decide. Then, oh, Joe, that's what I mean. I'm going to have this conversation in 2 weeks because if Jerry does win, shit. That's all I can really say. So Jordan's jumped in and he says if it's 3 years or more, it becomes irrelevant. So then everyone should stop mentioning about in that case, do we stop mentioning the Devon Dennis match? I think when I see the arm wrestlers of today and the arm wrestlers 3 or 4 years ago, Jordan, I could 90% agree with this because they're just different human beings. They're bigger and stronger. And because money is getting involved, they're taking their training seriously. Instead of pulling for $500 or winning $1,000 for a super match, they're double-digit thousands, $15,000, $20,000 appearance fee, $10,000 for winning. That is a lot of bloody bananas, if you ask me. A lot of bloody bananas. Jared TG says, evening, Aussie. Well, an evening to you too. That would be a wild if. Of course it's a wild if, my man, Erebus. Of course it is a wild if. Honestly, replace Alex with Jerry, says Nikolai. But then again, Jerry's been inactive. So how long does your name stop in the top 10 if you're being inactive? Is it 1 year? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? Is it 4 years? I don't know. This is what makes this conversation so good. And hopefully when I start getting in there and seeing a lot of the conversations that are going on, hopefully we can collectively decide a number 2. If not, we'll go back to the drawing board. We'll get the big Toddzilla whiteboard. We'll write down all of our maths. It is ridiculous. Benji Mack has just come in and says, yo, guys, it is all happening there. And everyone's just... Nikolai wants to see Jerry versus Saleev. Jerry beats Gennady, then beats Levan, then loses to Devon. Becomes number 1 in the world again. Very interesting. There was a stage where Jerry thought he could beat Levan and offered a car. Now, if John beats Monster Michael Todd and Jerry wins, John versus Jerry. I mean, yeah, if John beats Monster Michael Todd, then John's in the top 10 for sure. John becomes in the top 10. My opinion, 100%. He's in the top 10. Erebus reckons 2 years max. 2 years max. Quick side track. What do you think of Vince McMahon retiring? I am gutted. Jeremiah. I am gutted because he was my whole childhood. I mean, so this one here, a top 10 tourney would be wicked based on the rankings. Big money needed for that though. So then again, here's what I ask you guys in the chat. This is what I'm going to ask you guys in the chat. Would you rather wait 12 months and have no arm wrestling from the top 10 in the world so we have $1 million tournament to see who's number 1? Or do you like that we're having mega super matches on the monthly? You guys, let me know in the chat there. Let me just remove that. Here we go. Varley says, Jake has not pulled left-handed for some time now. That 3rd place trophy should no longer be count, if you ask me. Varley. Thought we're mates. Varley. You're coming for me. Everyone see that Curtis is pulling Zurab in Vancouver. I did see that. November 26th. That'll be good. Everyone just... Cobra says, how can Saplenkov make a comeback when he needs to eat pancakes to be top level? But that's what the pancakes did to him. He can have it come. I think he just needs to have a comeback, but realize if you want your body to shut down and potentially die, then knock yourself out. Or two, he just starts pulling people and just competing because he loves the sport and not worry about that. Because he's still got strength there. So Fuse says mega matches. The real question is, who is number 3 left-handed in Australia? Well, do we even need to answer that, Shano? Do we even need it? Luckadoo wants mega matches. Deep says, I love these matches, but I think it's better for everything if there is a waiting time like WAL had. It creates a lot of suspense waiting at least a month. Yeah. I love you too, Varley. More matches, more debates. I'm with you, Marcus. I would rather have 4 lots of East versus West, 3 Monster Michael Todd factories, 3 King of the Tables. Yeah. Yeah, because if we have to wait, that'd be pretty fun. That would be a mega comeback match, Cabaret. That would be a mega comeback match for sure. Beer Man is saying Monster Michael Todd is not top 10 anymore, and that's what I mean. The arguments can come tenfold. You know, does Ravaz that beat him? Does Ravaz go in the top 10? That's why I only put a top 8, because struggling for my 9th and 10th, it was very hard. Why not have a super match tournament? I mean, if I genuinely believe, Joe, I genuinely believe we need $1 million prize. Everyone I think, so if you have a top 10, we need $2 million raised. One, $100,000 for each competitor to participate as an appearance fee, and $1 million to the grand prize. And then you could have like the top 8 format. Okay, round 1's in January, and you have your top 10 go at it. Round 2, you know, and then is it a single elimination tournament? Is it a double elimination tournament? And then, you know, you have January, April, June, October, December. And there it is. So what if they're, you know, and that's the beauty of trying to fucking figure out who number 2 is. People lose interested in anything below the mega matches. Every weekend, we need something going on. What else have we got? Back on the road now. Listening. Long waiting periods between Stars of Spot will not go mainstream. Yeah, I like that we're getting more and more. All of the intrigue, says Jared, comes from not really knowing. If we nail it down 100% where everyone sits there, then what's the point in these matches? Well, I guess the point would be, so we can have the matches. Okay, we have the official number 2 versus the official number 3. I don't mind. GA says, Devon, number 2, how does one arrive at that conclusion? Seriously, if anyone's got an argument for Devon to be number 2, what else have we got? Bloody hell. Great idea, Aussie, says Alex. Make a prize big enough to incentivize the top guys to prove who is the best. That's what I think. I mean, if we all worked out how we could raise $2 million, we probably could do it all for ourselves. I certainly would. You know, can Rolex? Can we get Rolex as a major sponsor on board? If we got Rolex and then we landed like ESPN or Fox Sports or something like that to have it on there, and then we get a good team behind it, and every event, 4 or 5 events for the year, is a pay-per-view as well, so they can kind of, you know, try and get their money back. And then it stops, you know, the athletes from pulling other matches throughout the year. It would be ridiculous. It would be ridiculous. Get Vegemite the sponsor, says Erebus. Right, let's put a pin in that for now. let's put a pin in that. Oh, do you want to keep talking about who's number 2? I'm just going to write it down. So then I'll timestamp this later. Let's put a pin for that for now. Do we want the first caption game? Yes or no? In the comments, let me know now. Caption game. Hit the like button, guys. Like. 74 people and only 38 likes. Let's get the likes going. At the moment, 42% say Devon is number 2. 25 say Hermes. 24 say Vitali. 8% say Gennady. So let me know. Everyone's saying caption game. Okay, so let's get to the leaderboard of the caption game, the Maximum Bangers leaderboard. I think this is all right. We've got Savage and Juju on top with 5 points. Captain Obvious and the Drew 24 with 4 points. Shane Elliott, Devon's forearm. Varley and Peter McKenzie is the pram at 3 points. Robin Reed, Georgia Armfights, Jeremiah, Benji Mack with 2 points. Cliff Dunbar, Joe Nilo, Ryan Bussier, and Cobra Vavoda all with 1 point. Then we go. People want to play the caption game. Okay. Oh, my God. Devon's forearm is still on the board. He's pretty happy with that. Okay. So let me just where is everybody? All righty. So that is the leaderboard. I've updated it. Doesn't look as cool as when Uncle John does it. So he'll be back hopefully in a couple of weeks. Erebus Khan, thank you very much. We don't use the D word here. We don't use the D word. Says that. The Drew, what's the Drew saying? He says he thinks, let me double check my notes. Let me check my notes, Drew. Drew says he was 3 points, and if that's the case. It'll take too long. I'll double check it all, Drew. I'll double check it all later. I'll double check it all later, mate. Jared TG, forgot your 2 points. Yes, I did. I did, Jared. Why did I forget yours, Jared? That's shit. Jared TG with 2 points. That is correct. Bloody hell. See? Come back, Uncle John. Come back. I'm falling apart here. And I got too many notes. I did have them all written down. I've lost my page. I've lost my bloody page. That's all right. I'm going to write Jared's down because I've got them all here somewhere. That's okay. Oh, there it is. Why didn't I'm just going to write Jared. Jared TG was on 2 points. All righty, here we go. Here we go. All righty. I'll double check my paperwork. All righty. Not my mungus, not my circus. Says, what's the leaderboard all about? Sorry, whiskey head at the moment. For the caption game. For the caption game. Yeah, for the caption game. Okay. I saw an interesting match on the weekend, and I just want to know, guys, why is Dave Morocco kneeling? Like, why on earth is Dave Morocco kneeling? He started off on one knee. Everyone's getting stuck into me about my bloody notebook. I found it. I don't know why Jared's name. I definitely skipped that one. The Drew, maybe you are on 3 points. I reckon you are as well. I wrote it all down. Captain Obvious, ever since Uncle John's mustache fell off, I've lost my mojo. Okay. What? Hidden in the chaos is the element, says Aaron. Welcome, Aaron. Blood pump in his arm is why he's near. No, come on, Shane. You're going to make it funny. You've played this game. With this ring, I thee wed. Definitely Jeremiah. I commentated this match. It's on my Facebook. I'll put it on my YouTube another time. Uncle Timmy made him get on his knees. He did like he did to Small Italia. He was trying to release them a bit. Is he praying? Is he praying? Is he praying to beat Dave? That's a good one. Oh, hang on. Deeps. I'm going to put Deeps down. He wants a better look at Tim's huge pectoral muscles. Looking at his pec muscles. Ron the Don, trying to see what Tim's packing under the table. Oh, Jared, he must be related to Colin Kaepernick. Yes. Jared. Oh, Jared, let me write that down. That's a good one. Yes. Jared comes back. He wants to ensure that he goes to the top of the leaderboard. Oh, wow. Dave is kneeling down to try and get his arm out of the octopus. I've seen Monster Michael Todd do this in WAL and beat everyone. Think this move is called the Jack in the Box, says BG. Wait, you're not going to knight me? Says the Drew24. Savage isn't happy with the picture. It's a bloody great picture. Oh, Dan John. Yes, all right. So that can go down. Fuck. Damn you guys. Stop it with that. Oh, Captain Obvious. You got tip there. He skipped leg day, says Savage. Certainly did. That's more of a fact. When you think you can squeeze one off if you get low enough. Just the old massage the bears, you reckon, can get a fart, says Benji Mac. It looks like he tried to pull out a grenade. They're all trying to stop him from letting it go. It does. It does, Jerry. That is cool. That is cool, Jerry. That can go in my top 10. Jerry C, grenade. I'm going to write these down. Armwrestling's first gay marriage proposal. Yeah, we had the proposal one earlier. Dave Chapman, you legend. What else have we got? Knee sweet, palms are sweating. Ah! Ron the Don. Ron the Don. Oh, that one's got to go down. That one's got to go down. Oh, Ron. Eminem lyrics. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I don't know why I laugh. Oh, this one I like, Roy. Yes. You get me right in the feels. His legs are tired. The setup took too long. Oh, yes. Oh, this is going to be hard to choose. Oh. That's a good one, Roy. Oh, what else have we got? Tim wants his money, and the Mafia ref hold him down as he squats in fear. He was looking for Monster Michael Todd onto the table. Some King's Move advice. Retro Riser says, where is Maximum Bang Monday? We're just having a bit of a play. Uncle John's just having a few weeks off at the moment. He's just got to clear his head and have some time off. And then Maximum Bang Monday will be right back at it. What else have we got? 4-way thumb wrestle. Gone there. Going to have to stop using Evan's pile cream, says Dan John. The four bald men of the setup apocalypse. He's prepping for a huge match for the number one spot in the midget Armwrestling League. Oh, you idiots. Savage? No, Savage. Think we need to postpone the game? No. We keep playing it so he comes back quicker. That's a good one. Oh, I'll give it a couple of more minutes. I've so far deep saying that it's praying. Jared TG says he's related to Colin Kaepernick. Dan John says he's talking to Paul Italia. Jerry Cabaret says that he's just whipped out a grenade. Roy Baker, the setup is too long. Ron the Don with the Eminem lyrics. There we go. Who wants to play the human not game? Man, they're stuck in there. I've got to pick 4. So let me just get that picture off and we'll get back because I want to talk about a couple of Europeans for the number 2. But we got to do a poll. We got to do a poll to see who gets the first points of the caption game. So let me do a poll. All right. Hit the like button while you're here. You Dead Set Legends will end that poll. And then, okay, just got to write down a number. So 30. Oh, no. I'll write it on the back here. Oh, lost it. Okay. So, poll time. Who's going to be our first winner of the caption game? Who? Oh, I need 2 answers for this one. Who wins? I can only pick 4, can't I? I'm going to go with... alrighty. Related... Okay, one option in there. Some of them were good. Alrighty. Because we only get 4 options on here. What was that one? And then, oh, yeah, all right. Huh. All righty, there's your top 4, you Dead Set Legends. There is your top 4. There is your vote in the poll. And then I want to get to another discussion about who is number 2 in the world. So let me... Just got to write down the time for the time stamp. So vote in the poll. You know, I'll leave that for a while, but please, can everyone? Yes, I do know that, Cabaret. It's going to be awesome about Devon. Just having oh, God. Ryan Bowen with the super chat. Thank you very much, Ryan. He says, g'day, brother. Listening as I drive home from dropping off Lockie. Love your work. Yeah, if you're just joining us, mate, g'day to you, Lockie. And Ryan Bowen. Can't wait for Australia to go 2-0. We're discussing who's number 2 in the world. But we stop in between to play some caption games and some fun. What else? Hey, Ozzy, do you think you might have a guest host like how you split? I didn't split with Uncle John. He's just having a couple of weeks off. I've got his chair nice and warmed up. Strength old school. I can barely walk. For those that don't know, I fell down the stairs and I've completely fucked up my hip. I can barely walk. It's ridiculous. So, booked in for the surgeon and we're going to just work out a date and go, right, dickheads, replace at least my right one because it got a big big, what's it called? Reality check. Couldn't really look after my daughter if I can't walk. Ryan Bussier just comes in, says, ready, bang. Here we go. Mr. Caption Contest. We're going to do one more later on. He's going to do one more. What's Paul Hart says, that's bullshit. There we go. Savage is up. He's gunning for his top spot, so he's slagging off the game. Right. So we've talked about the circle death of doom. Devon had beat Dave. Dave had beat Alex. Alex had beat Gennady. Alex had beat Hermes. Hermes had beat Gennady, and Gennady had beat Dave. So, shit. Then you look on the other side, and someone who recently had one of the best matches with Levan is, of course, Vitaly Larratt. He was able to hold him center, and then Levan does what he does best and just does a big sumo drop on everyone's hand, takes a big Amber Heard, and just makes sure that no one is even coming close to Levan. So then we're sitting there and going, well, he was more competitive. He was the most competitive, a bit more competitive than Dave Chafington Esquire Jr. the third. So then it's like, oh, Vitaly then surely has to be number 2. Then we had this little big barrel of bustling power that's Dimitri Sayev. The dude genuinely, when I look at him, I feel like it's the dumbest thing ever. I feel like putting my thumb in his belly button because he looks like a giant bowling ball. And I feel like Dimitri's just come in and I've just lined up and he's just knocked all, like you had the top 10 all nice and lined up properly there. And then the big bowling ball that's Dimitri just came over at that tournament. So when Dimitri came and beat Vitaly twice, this asked me 2 questions. One, I want to ask you guys in the chat, let's keep it bloody healthy. Let's keep it healthy. Right. 2 questions I want to ask and jump in. With the human bowling ball beating Vitaly at the tournament, 2 things. Does that immediately skyrocket Dimitri into the top 10, the top 5, the top 2 in the world? Does he become number 2? If the majority of us think that Vitaly is number 2, does the human bowling ball think, by winning? Second question I want to try and throw a spanner in the works to you bloody dead set legends is, do we count tournaments? Or do we only count super matches? Are we going to have... The last thing we need is more fucking rankings. That's what I can say there. But do we keep tournaments separate? So suddenly Backspace or Erebus Khan is the number 1 super match puller. And then Jordan and Not My Monkeys are the number 1 tournament pullers. So Vitaly wasn't in form. Well, that doesn't matter. That's just arm wrestling. You can't, if Devon somehow beat Levan can't just say, oh, I wasn't in form and it doesn't count. That, I disagree with that argument. A prepared super match Vitaly is 140 kilos and definitely number 2. That I can agree with. But to say he's not in form, I can't agree with it. I can't agree with that. But if you go on his Instagram, he is lifting mega weights. If you pull, it counts. So then, yeah. So is Dimitri automatically number 2 for beating Vitaly twice in a day? But then again, that's only 2 pins. Where in super matches, you need a minimum of 3 wins. So is that another argument? Does Dimitri not get to climb up as much because he only beat Vitaly twice? For example, on the weekend, Chance Shaw beat Ron Barth twice. But we're not going to say he's better than Ron Barth. Why? Because Ron Barth won the next 3. Dave Chafee beat Gennady twice. But Gennady then won the next 3. You see where Zurab beat John Brzezinski twice. But then John Brzezinski won the next 3. So is there a minimum standard format Mate, what I'm doing is just grabbing all my tools, getting as many spanners as I can. So when we sit there, and I am thoroughly enjoying all your arguments of why someone is number 2, and I'm loving all your arguments of why someone isn't number 2, because a lot of them are legit arguments. So I sit there and have a look, and it's like, yeah, well, Devon's not number 2 because such and such said this. But then another argument comes over, and I'm like, well, he's got a point as well. So we all have points there. Speaking of someone that is number 1 in the world, what's going on with my internet? It's looking a bit choppy. Why am I looking a bit choppy? Am I back on? Am I recovered? Let's have a look. Okay. We just got to be choppy there for a moment. But someone that is number 2 to no one is Marcus Thompson, you dead set legend. He goes, Jake, you missed a trick tonight. You should have had a framed photo of your partner in crime, Uncle John, and wanted a reward for the missing tash. Also, go buy some 2x4 and make a handrail for those stairs. I have a handrail. I just couldn't believe it. I just lost my footing, right? I just lost my footing, and all of a sudden, you know, when you just know that you couldn't grab onto anything, and you know you shot, and then I just had to get in there and smash it. Yeah, it was lagging for a while. I don't think I'm lagging anymore, but my internet is right here. I can touch my internet from here. I've deleted a whole heap of stuff off my laptop, so it'll be interesting. Anyway, but first of all, Marcus, thank you very much for your ginormous super chat. And because of that super chat, I can announce all of the people that are coming on the show, which is going to be awesome. So really appreciate it, Marcus Thompson. And I'll get back to, I want to keep talking about Dimitri and Vitali in a moment. Okay. We'll get to some comments in a moment, as we've got some new faces in. Dante Mack has just said, yo. So just once again, I'll reiterate, Uncle John probably will have about another 2 weeks off minimum. Hopefully I can get him back before East versus West, but it's not looking likely. So hopefully another 2 weeks and Uncle John will come back. But I also want to announce some people, like I'm going live again in under 24 hours. I'm just getting double confirmation. So I'll be about 6 a.m. my time. I'm actually going to do a little short video so I can put the times for everyone. Krasmir Kostadinov is coming on the show in under 24 hours. Krasy. So if you've got some interesting factoids, if you've got some Krasisms that you wouldn't mind me talking about in there, talk about the human cue ball, talk about the man that's talking on Irakli Sarakashvili at East versus West, a man whose pride is very hurt at the moment because no one is rating him against Irakli. I'm very interested to see the man's passion. Just we've confirmed, but I always like to confirm and confirm again. So Krasy's coming on the show. Second one, it's going to be later on in the week. The second one later on in the week. Ron Barth has chosen me to come on the show and talk about his winning match against Chan Shaw. That'll be a smaller stream, but it's just good to see Ron talking about his win. That might be more your Friday, Saturdays. Just got to confirm a time with Ron. Speaking of Ron the Don has just come in and gone bang. He goes, I'll take number 2 to Marcus with a midi slam. Ready, bang. You are certainly up there. I know Sean Brophy and Mr. Percolate 80 like their red-coloured ones. But Ron the Don, thank you very much. Very appreciative of your giant super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Ron the Don, as I announce other people that are coming on the show. Ron, I'll leave that there for a little bit. So people, happy that Krasy's coming on. Which is awesome. G'day to everyone. Yeah, Krasy was awesome. Jimbo H, I'll go back to your super chat, Ron, but it says he's putting 75% of his purse on the line. Yeah, because, mate, his pride is He's a very proud man. He's a very proud man. Thank you, Ron the Don, with a ready bang. Not my monkeys, not my circus, with a quick little 2-pounder. He says, I'll take a very poor third. Nothing wrong with third. Nothing wrong with third. Trust me. Right. Two other. Now, just when you think those two guests are massive, let me tell you about my next two guests. Confirmed. Thursday night. Wait, let me just double check. Yeah. Okay. So Thursday morning, my time. Most likely Wednesday night, your turn. Hermes Gasparini. He will be on the show with the Aussie arm wrestler, me and Hermes, that massive Italian super sausage, the man that could be number 2. I said that earlier in the show. Could be number 2 in the world. Hermes Gasparini will be on the show in under 48 hours. Hermes is on the show. I'm telling you. Tell me what you think about that. Hermes Gasparini is going to come on. We're going to help build his YouTube channel up, even though he's superseded mine. But we're going to get there. I think it's just Hermes. But if his translator wants to come on, of course, I'm more than happy for that, because I know his English isn't great. So, Krasy, Ron, to talk about his match. And I'm going to have Angie come on with him. I love when them two are on together. Hermes Gasparini. Then, my fourth one. My fourth one that's coming on. Big Loz. Lawrence Shillelagh. Big Loz. Now, if you don't know who he is, he's world record holder in strongman. And he commentated the first King of the Table with Neil Pickup. He even did a live commentary during the last King of the Table. He's dabbling into the arm wrestling world. Big Loz has agreed in August to come on the show. He says he's a bit busy at the moment, but Big Loz is coming on. So they are my 4 guests. The members found out first on my members video, and they're getting updated about the super secret members challenge that I'm doing. But they're my 4 guests. They're my 4 guests that are coming on the show. Let me recap. Krasmir Konstantinov, Ron Barth, Hermes Gasparini, and Big Loz. You can see by my smile that I'm pumped, and they're happening real soon. It's just unbelievable. People are jumping in saying Big Loz is the man, says Jimbo H. I'm a lesbian. Love Big Loz and Liz. Big Loz, yes, I know Big Loz. He's a great athlete and person. Do you know him personally, or you just know of him? But he seems awesome. What is the connection between Issa, Hermes? I don't know. Could just be a sponsorship thing. Not too sure, actually. But we'll find out. Why will we find out? Not my monkeys, you ask? Because Hermes will be on the show. I'm very, very excited to have them all. Now, Krasy has reached out to me before and says he's a fan of the show. And so I'm very, just that in general is pretty cool. I find that very humbling. I find it humbling that anyone is a fan of the show. To me, Juju Mugu says, Jake, did you dye your hair blonde to brunette to appear smarter, or is that just the light? I think it's the lighting, and my hair's shorter. I think it's lighter. Yeah, everyone's just chatting to each other. So I am so pumped to announce those 4 guests coming on the show. And I don't know if I should say it out loud, but Ron sent me a message this morning, and he said, and he just gave me like a massive, massive compliment, but it may disrespect other channels. it may disrespect other channels. So I might not. But when he messaged me, I was like, Toddzilla's said a similar message to me privately, and I'm just like, that's pretty cool. Alrighty, what else? What else have we got? Okay, because I want to go back to arguing about Vitaly and Dimitri being number 2 in the world. So Jake, Marcus Thompson says, Jake, your platform personality is great to showcase what they're up to. Thank you very much, and hopefully they share it on their channels and more people just realize, because I got 7,500 of the best Dead Set Legends on this channel. Aussie Arm Wrestler, at some point, could you bring in Artem? I think you guys would be who. For some reason, I don't know why I haven't had Artem on the show, and it bothers me. So let me write that down, because he's got a couple of super matches coming up. He's pulling Quinlan Mendez, and I think Robbie Russell on the left. So I might have a chat and get Artem on the show, because Artem's awesome, and he's only come on the 24-hour one, and we got along. Aussie, will you grow a beard for a few weeks just to see how Mrs. Aussie reacts? No, but when when Uncle John comes back, I will put that up as a challenge to him. So, we might have a bet on something, and I'll bet on, my beard. I'll bet my beard to him. We've got 50 votes in the poll now. Let's have a look. Do we have 50 votes in the poll? We do. 52 votes. Let me go end the poll. Can everyone please hit the like button, you Dead Set Legends? Who is the winner? Ron the Don gets the 3 points. Ron the Don. Oh, where'd that go? Let me just write down the points. My poll's disappeared. Why I'm getting a bit laggy here, aren't I? It just chops in and out. Okay. So Ron the Don, 3 points. Jared TG moves up the leaderboard with the Kaepernick one. He gets 2 points and 1 point to Roy Baker for the setup. I thought Roy Baker and Eminem were probably my favourites. 1 point. We've got the caption game a little bit later on and a bit of Would You Rather. We'll try not to go for too long. I should grow the stash. There we go. Okay, so I just need to write down an errand too, and we're back. So let's get back. Congratulations to the winners. I want to talk about the. Can we make an argument for Hermes Gasparini to be number 2? Because the way Engen views Hermes Gasparini, so in my view, Hermes views Engen views Hermes higher than Gennady. So do we take that? Because Engen's a very intelligent man when it comes to arm wrestling. So do we take that into effect? And why I say he views him higher? Because Gennady's got to go against Jerry. Gennady's got to go against Jerry first. And then the winner pulls Gennady. So clearly he thinks Hermes is bigger. Oh, where did it go? Ryan Blue Bone with a super chat. He says, you can say it. Everyone has favorites. Even my mum loves you. Are you talking about me? Even your mum loves me? Awesome. I sat next to your mum and dad at your wedding, Ryan. 2 fantastic people. That is for sure. That is for sure. Of course, everyone has favorites. Of course, everyone has favorites. Thank you very much for your super chat, Ryan. And I think that's what I'm really loving about this chat about who is number 2 in the world. Hey, there's some people out there that could make an argument for you, Ryan, being number 2 in the world. What do you think about that, Jack? I think Lachlan might have something to say. And if you haven't dropped him off in time, he might just give you a bloody backhander and say, calm down, Ryan. You're not number 2 in the world. But thank you very much for your super chat. Jared TG says you can make an argument for a lot of guys. Yes, you can. So then it's very interesting because then where do we where do we rate them? So going off a lot of your arguments, it goes Levan 1, number 2, Dimitri, number 3, Vitali, number 4, Hermes. That's what I'm getting. Then you've got the arguments for Devon for number 2, and I'd have to go back and have a look. I'd have to go back and have a look because a lot of them would make sense for Devon being number 2. So once again, we haven't come to a conclusion, and we probably won't come to a conclusion of who is number 2. But I am loving a lot of your arguments. When Vitali pulled Hermes in Dubai, he said he felt like he was pulling himself. So a bigger, stronger version of Hermes then should be a good contender for the second ranking, says Erebus. Brandon's big on making the sport clean. Nothing wrong with that, Brandon. Nothing wrong with that at all. Talking about content creator. Thank you, Ryan. Ron's compliments. Thank you very much. Ryan, you superstar. I'll see if I can find Ron's. Anyway, we'll go back. So yeah. So then, all right. Let's get another Jake Biden poll going. Let's get a Jake Biden poll. So, how do we say it? How do we decide? I'm going to say number 2 in the world. And this one, I need everyone to vote in. Super matches only. Tournaments only. Or both. Ask my dead set legends in the community. Ask my dead set legends. So then, yeah. So a lot of people already have a Vitali at number 2. And that's why I put this poll out, because we spoke about it earlier. So a lot of people, the way Vitali pulled Levan, they went, this guy's number 2 in the world. He held him dead center, and then you just saw the side pressure, the climb, the hit, and the fucking heavyweight dump that Levan did. So that kind of sits Vitali at number 2. If you go off the top 8, he's number 2. You know, Igor's top 8 rankings. But then Dimitri, like I said before, beats him twice in a tournament. So how do we decide that? Then, mate, do you want me to throw another spanner in the works? Would you like me to throw another spanner in the works when it comes to number 2? Can I get a hell yeah, Aussie arm wrestler? How many rounds do we decide? If we are basing it off super match format, does that even matter at all? Should it be a set of 5? Should it be a 6-rounder with a silver bullet? Without a silver bullet? Should we sit there and go, it doesn't matter, a super match is a super match, you need to adjust like you need to adjust to WAL pads, to WAF pads, to IFA, to King of the Table, to Arm Wars. Different set of rules, different structure. So then where do we go from there? It's... Jared TG says, I personally would put Vitali at 2. There are just so many questions. Do all matches count? Only super matches, only specified matches. That way, the athletes won't have to be juiced up. Everyone wants to get him on the Discord. Ryan, get on the Discord. I will try and see if I can get him on there. Alex Karate Zarati. Alex Z comes in. He says it's Levan, Hermes, Vitali, Siliev, Gennady, Devon. That's his top 6. And thank you very much for putting it out there, Alex. I don't mind that. But then you go but Siliev recently beat Vitali in a tournament. Alex Kadecha recently beat Hermes at top 8. You know what? How exciting! Like how awesome that is. Everyone's getting in there. Uh, everyone's just being awesome. Bloody hell. Tournaments really tell you different things I want to know. What are they, EC? Because I'm at a tournament and for me, it doesn't. For me, it doesn't. So, for example, I went to Sydney, the New South Wales state titles, and we had Vic titles that long ago. And I was really excited to see Mario Tambakis versus Vitali Matteo, two in the top 10 of Australian arm wrestling. Now, what bothered me was Mario went through the A side relatively easy, and by the time Vitali, he had a war with Andy Boskovsky or Andy Lee. So then by the time he got to the final, like, people are knackered. So yeah, but I understand why people love tournaments. I really do. LG Brandon with a super chat says they need to clean the sport. Levant takes all the illegal substances known to men. I don't know how many illegal substances. They might be legal in his country. You just never know. In super match format, when I've read the rules, I don't think it says anything about you can't take it. I don't think we can afford drug testing, but I understand where you're coming from, Brandon. I do understand that is for sure. I do understand that, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you for your support. I hate teammates lying down to push their main guy in the finals. Yeah, not my. Yeah, I'm with you. No, tournaments are great, but you need a day to watch them. There, we had one table, and I went for 8-9 hours. It's a long day, but a good day. Everyone's just coming back with some awesome things, which is really good. Says there's a downside of confusing things because the math is complicated, but I just want more data overall, not 1 or 2 super matches per year. Now, when you say 1 or 2 super matches per year, that's only for 2 competitors. Because I've seen Alex pull quite a lot. I've seen Hermes pull a bit, and he's got matches booked for later on in the year. I've seen Dave Chafee pull 3 times. Alex Gennady, I've seen pull. Jerry's coming back. Vitali's a little bit different, Vitali and Dimitri, because of they're not allowed to travel. So yeah, I think people have just, well, that's what I mean. If you want to claim the number 2 spot in the world, how many times a year do you have to pull? How many times? How many times do you have to deny challenge before you lose the rank? How long do you have to be inactive for before you lose your ranking? That's what I mean. I wonder if I can just build a committee and really nut it down, and we'll give you. Could you imagine if I built a YouTuber community? So I got Ryan and Coach Ray and Uncle John and Neil Pickup and who else? Evan. And if I get Evan on the committee, and we do like a majority rules for the votes, but film those committee meetings and give them to you guys of who we decide the top 10 in the world is. Brandon Allen, we'll get Brandon Allen in there. Who else would I love to get in there? Brandon Allen would be fucking sick to get in there. Imagine that, Bill, because I know YouTubers, and that's what we do when we come on a platform. We cop a lot of flack, and that's just what happens. Everyone's saying, Ryan Boussier's in the chat, just saying g'day to everyone. Buddy Hale, Ryland Johnson. Just pulled at my first practice today. Welcome, Ryland, to the world of arm wrestling. If we can give Ryland a clap. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Your first practice. When can you start your workouts again? Do a recovery tomorrow. Do a recovery, mate. It's hard. It will take you a while to juggle what works. Some people can do a workout again the next day. Some people just like to keep going and not allowing their body rest. But Ryland, good to see you on the table, mate. Look forward to hearing about your journey. That's for sure. What else have we got? Everyone's just having a chat. Pros should pull at least once a month on each arm. Whoa. I'm going to go 4 times a year. I reckon a 12-week cycle would be enough. recovery, build up, peak, recovery, build up, peak. I think 4 times a year is good enough for me. Because if you think about it, if say Devon, Dave, and Alex all go 1, 5, 9. Oh, you can't really say well, every 3 months. Sorry, 12 weeks is 3 months. Every 3 months. So if you go 1, 4, 7, 10 for those three, then Hermes and Gennady say 2, 5, 8, and 11. And I think we can have a lot of matches, and I think it can work. I think it can work. I'm wondering who Hermes needs to beat to get the number 2 rank. I think it would either be Devon or Siliev. Devon, Siliev, Vitali, any of those three, Rob, any of those three, I think. But once again, Devon's injured. He's injured his right arm. Might have a party match at Arm Wars, but you just never know. So that's what I love about it, because every time I'm ready to announce who's number 2 in the world, it just goes nuts. What's my poll saying? My poll at the moment, 49% say you can count super matches and tournaments, while 44% are saying super matches only. So that's really interesting. And then the rest are saying tournaments. So so it looks like we've progressed to tournaments determining just off the little bits of the votes here. So there we go. Yeah, it's interesting. I definitely think super matches. I think you can count tournaments. Hence why Dimitri's in the chat. And according to Exports News, they've got Dimitri at number 2, and they're going off a point system. So I understand. That's what I mean. There's another spanner. I mean, so then to determine who's number 2 in the world, before we play the next caption game, to determine who's number 2 in the world, do we need a point system? Or is it basically just challenging everyone? I don't mind a point system and a ladder. We have the maximum bang leaderboard for the caption game. So, you get points. But then how do we rate those points? Do you just get points for win? Because if that's the case, I'll just pull against Mrs. Aussie Arm Wrestler every day, let her flog me. We have 1 million sanctioned super matches, and she becomes number 1. So how does the point system work? Now, with the point system, if you are going off the quality of opponent, well, then we're back hang on, beating Monster Michael Todd. You get more points beating Monster Michael Todd than beating John Brasink. And then you're like, what? Really? That's not right. So the point system could be interesting. Do you only do it? So say if I'm ranked number 5 in the world and I pin number 2, does that automatically put me number 2 and push everyone back? And then you become headhunted. And if I was number 4 and suddenly I'm number 5, I'm like, oh, well, fuck this. I'm coming after number 2. So so how do we then work out a system? What do you think a good system is? Let me know in the chat. What else have we got? At least 5 matches a year is possible. Shane Elliott every 4 months. Opinion-based rankings will always see hate from all sides. Yeah, but I tell you what I have been enjoying was what was happening before I went live and what's happening now. Now, I haven't read every single comment, but everyone's been awesome about it. I haven't seen too many people go, you're a fucking dick, man. The days of monthly pulling will probably die when the old school guys retire. Hopefully not. Hopefully it just gives everyone else a chance to replace them, because we will need. Because then if you decide you're number 2 in the world and it's like, oh, well, I think I can beat him. Benji Mack wants to come on the council and decide, which is good. Alex Clark says, Jake, I feel like Devon gets slighted a bit in the rankings. I personally feel like nobody else besides Levin beating Devon the other day. He's beating Devon the other day. What do you think? When I saw Devon at King of the Table 1, I did claim that no one in the world could beat him. I was clearly wrong. I did. If you watch, those who are members know that I actually tipped Levin, but I just wanted to have a bit of fun and make a video, and I said Devon in a silver bullet. But I thought that Devon that turned up, yeah, I thought the size and shape, veracity and power, after watching, because when I watched Dimitri beat Vitali, I thought the shape that Devon was in, I thought he would beat Vitali and he would beat Dimitri on that day. So I had Devon at number 2. Watching everyone beat each other in the chat, stylistically, I thought Hermes was probably the best one. I probably just going off the way they were now. So this is my slight argument for Devon being number 2 because of the sheer size, the way that he turned up. Yes, if you look at his resume, you can argue that. But for me, I could argue that the size, shape, and power that he's in, I didn't see Vitali in the form that he was in at the time, and Dimitri pinning that Devon. Maybe in Hermes, the size that Hermes is, but Hermes then gets in trouble against taller opponents, and you saw what Alex Kadecha did to him. I think Devon was too intelligent, and he could work his way around to beat Alex. I would love a rematch to see the sheer power of Dave Chafee. But then if I think that Devon is beating Gennady, then he's beating Dave because Gennady beat Dave. So that is my argument for Devon to be number 2 in the world. I'm not saying that he's number 2 in the world. I would almost have him there. But then everyone in the chat can make an argument of why he's not even top 5, which we were going through a little earlier in the show. What else have we got? Just like boxing in the old days, guys fought over 100 fights. Now top guys are lucky to fight twice a year. I think because there's so much money involved. Alex is saying if you don't pull in 3 months, you get a yellow card, 6 months red card, which kicks you out of the rankings for a year. Oh, that's a bit harsh, Alex. That's a bit harsh. Let's say, and I only say harsh for 2 reasons. 1, injuries, and 2, people like Vitali and Dimitri, they can't leave the country. So, and also you've got to, do you want to get paid or do you want to be number 1 in the world? So to try and get money to have these matches. So it's all good for us arm wrestling fans to have all of these matches over and over again. That's fine. But someone's got to pay them as well. These athletes rightly deserve their money as well. But we've got to work out how they get paid. But, hey, Alex has just gone bang, which is, oh, geez, all the comments are flying. Anyone find it ironic? Ron the Don sent a big super chat and he won the caption game. He sent the super chat afterwards. But I'm open to bribes. I'm corrupt. Absolutely. What else have we got? Todd Hutchings, vocal coach. Should be soon. And Todd have another song. Oh, Todd singing. Thank you very much, Todd Hutchings, vocal coach. That's a new one. I do love it. Savage, I couldn't agree with you more. I am not overly bothered. Well, I like to play fantasy matchups, and I just want everyone to pull. I want to call the action. I want it to continue to go, and we rock and roll from there. So I'm the same with you. Cliff Dunbar, who's got 1 point in the caption game, says, I like the Corey Miller style. That has worked out. Super matches are the only way to know who's best. Jake, will you put your number 3 trophy in a time capsule and throw it into the ocean or bury it somewhere for future generations or aliens to find? You would be part of history. No, because I'm going to bring it when I start traveling the world. I'm going to bring it with me just for kicks. Ryan Espy in the chat, the dead set legend, says, hi, everybody. Hi, Jake. Ryan Espy, genuine superstar of our sport. Love that dude. Has a very good sense of humor that I definitely get behind. It's good to see you, Ryan. Go check out that show. We're doing a caption contest now. Ryan says, I want to see Devon versus Dave Chafee under rigid rules. Ermies, Gennady, Kadetcha, they could all be the guy soon for number 2. That is. Absolutely. We've been making arguments this whole time, and we can't come to anything. Alex, Jake, thoughts on Ron Barth beating Chance? Well, Ron Barth's going to come on the show later on in the week, and we're going to talk about it together. But I think it's just fucking unreal. I think it's unreal. That is for sure. He's just being awesome. Okay. The second caption contest, we're going to look on the other side of the table, and I want to know, what the fuck is Tim thinking? What on earth is Tim thinking? I'm just going to end the poll. 47% say super matches determined, and a lot of you say both, and the other half were both. So, what is Tim thinking? I'm just trying to think what I would be thinking if I saw someone go down on their knee like that. What is he thinking? That's bloody madness. I remember when I first saw the match, and I know a lot of people have sent me the match, and thank you for like having my back going, thank you for having it. But what is Tim thinking? Alex says they're not the same without Uncle John. I know, mate. I know, but I like to keep the game going, and hopefully Uncle John will be like, I need to come back and save Aussie and come back on the airwaves. I do like it. Wow, Roy's going for the jugular. He says, how can I jump and put all my weight on him to break this clown's arm? He's just thinking, where are you going, buddy? He's thinking, how the hell did Dan John win the latest caption contest? Ron the Don won it. Dan John didn't score a point. But I do like that one. Leave Dan John alone. Dan John winning. Oh, Savage comes in. Says Monica Lewinsky was better. Yes. I'm going to put that in my final however many. Monica. What else have we got? Oh. Why do I feel so many hands even under the table? A lot of hand jobs going on there. Ron, hand jobs. I'm just going to write hand jobs. Tim's thinking, you get to tell him to close his head, Sean? Smells like my ex-wife. I think I'm writing down like every single one. Benji, smells like my wife. You idiots. Oh, man, I got the best idiots in here. That's the first time I've ever had to go down, had a bloke go down on me. All of you pulling my arm. It's still not the power of Levan. Tim's going to kick him in the dick. It's going to take more than 3 of you guys to get that engagement on me. Tim's refusing the wedding. Who was that? Jimbo, I like that one, Jimbo. Refuse wedding. I'm going to write. I got 6 or 7. Who told the ref that hat was a good idea? You don't like the fedora. This guy wants to be on disability. Will oblige. Monica was thick. I bet she was great at her job. Timmy's thinking that Morocco is going to be the first transgender contender. Jeremiah, we actually had one. I think they recently retired. I forgot their name. Someone will tell me in the chat. Who the hell set me up with Monster Michael Dodd's hillbilly cousin? Also, under the table. If I close my eyes, It's not gay. On 3, go team. Yeah, Jaggers. Yeah, I think that's why I laugh so much. Yes, I like this one, Ref. Is this the guy from the pawn shop? Yes. Yes, from Pawn Stars. Alex Zarate, Pawn Stars. I like that one. Pawn Stars. What else have we got? When you watch 2 Devon Larratt Kings. Devon Larratt. I got to stop saying Larratt. When you watch 2 Devon Larratt Kings Moves videos and you think you can do it in a tournament versus Tim 0.0. Irfan says, I watched Michael Todd once. I should have strapped my piece to my left leg. The quadratic arm wrestling league. Timmy's thinking, don't fail me now, Lyme disease. That's awesome. Everyone's been awesome. Brockton Dog, we'll get to your comment to kind of wrap things up. So maybe a little bit later, Brockton, we'll get your we'll discuss that. Ron the Don says, I've never felt so many fingers at once. Yes. Is this what I have to go through now after losing Derek? F my life. Juju. Yes. Lose to Derek. FML. That's a good one. I think Juju beat you, Roy. I went from super match from Levan to this. They're still doing sit-down arm wrestling. They're still doing seated arm wrestling. I'll give it for a few minutes. That one's definitely in there. I like that one. That one's definitely in there. That one's definitely in there. So I've got one spot up for grabs. We'll leave that for a couple of minutes and then we'll see if we can absolutely nail who is number 2 in the world. And we'll leave it for a couple of minutes there, but there we go. I'm glad I wore tinted glasses. The shine of this bloke's head is right, says Peter McKenzie, is the pram. May Almighty God have mercy on your soul and forgiving your sins lead to eternal life. So more praying going on, says Justin. Timmy's thinking, just, hey, man, what's for lunch after I whoop this dude? And he does. If you go to my Facebook page, I commentate the action. Yeah, Irfan's thinking, are you for real? You let this fly? Hyena Laughing Manor, number 2. Oh, he's number 2 in the world? For sure, not Devon. Have you seen this guy's ugly orange shoes? I'm guessing he's hiding them down there. Tim's usually thinking of guns and donkeys. Tim's thinking, what would Chuck Norris do? Benji Max says you definitely need to take that silly hat off. We should start a band. The Striped Baldies. Do, 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 do. Oh, you guys are awesome. Right, let me just take this photo off. Oh, and we'll have a go there. So I'll start doing the 3 of the 4 of the poll is in there. Let's see if we can quickly find a 4th. Let me go who wins. Let's go. Alrighty. Just got to type. They should use a comma. Then the next one was that one. I'm not going to say it now. I'm going to give you guys a surprise. Yeah. Then we've got. I liked that one. Oh, I liked that one. All righty. Let me just go back to the comments, see if I can quickly find a fourth as the comments come flying in. Another protege from the Monster Michael Side Factory Training Special. Cobra couldn't do that move with the 113. I like the hat. If Sean's watching. Did Matt Mars grow his hair back? Gravity is finally taking his balls. He went down there to find them. That's not bad. Yeah. All right, Mason. Gravity balls is the fourth option. All right, okay. Let's go vote. And then we'll wrap up. All righty. Ask the Dead Set Legends in the community. What I want to ask you guys, what I want to ask all of you guys is, lay it to me straight. In one word, who is number 2 in the world? In one word. Lay it to me. Lay it to me in one word. I want to know. I want to know who is number 2 in the world. As everyone's getting their votes in. Yeah, Tim is definitely awesome on Beer Man Show. Tim's a superstar. But yeah, get it in there. Who is number 2 in the world? Is it Devon? Is it Vitaly? Is it Dimitri? Is it Hermes? Is it Dave? Is it Alex? Is it Gennady? Who have we got? Who have we got? People are saying Levan is number 2 because Danny Tesh is number 1. The Drew has nailed it. Okay, what are people saying in the chat? Justin thinks it's Vitaly. Not my monkeys thinks it's me. That makes sense. The Schmo thinks it's Devon. Alex thinks it's Pancakes. Devon from Roy Baker. Irfan thinks it's Hermes. Enstock thinks it's Devon. Oh, Marcus, you just missed the last caption game. You've just come back at the wrong time. We're giving one word to see who didn't do it. Hermes says Jeremiah. Aaron Amada says it's Gennady. Blue for number 2. Oh, I'll tell you what. Yeah, Marcus can have the honorary number two spot. James Clark wants to know why Danny went AWOL. He just lost interest. He just lost interest in the sport. He really did. He lost interest. Didn't bother him. Yeah, thought, yeah, he likes to go all in at everything he does, and he just didn't want to do it anymore. Ryland thinks it's Devon. Brockton Dog thinks it's Gennady. Shane thinks it's Dennis. Now, the rumor mill on this one. I think Brockton Dog mentioned it before. The Devon and Hermes may pull in December. That could be a matchup. Now, to pull at November, East versus West for the title, right arm and left arm. So Hermes takes on the winner of Cody versus Artem, and he also takes on the winner of Jerry and Gennady in November, and then to pull in December against Levan. First of all, is that a smart idea from Hermes? And second, if Hermes loses to Jerry or Gennady, if he loses, does that just suck all the air out of Levan versus Hermes? I think it does. I really think it does. I will still watch it and I will hype the shit out of it. Do not get me wrong. But when you get excited for a matchup and then then you recently get beat, it takes a lot away from it. It takes a lot from it. What do you guys think? Everyone's just getting in there. Davis horsepower. Dominic says, I won't pull the trigger on this bomb if you let me keep my sunglasses on. He's going back for the fun caption game, which is good. What else have we got? Everyone's just Monster Michael Todd easy, says Varley. Matt Mask. Now, they're coming in out of everywhere, aren't they? A lot of Italis. Jerry, you are funny. Matt Mask beats Levan. If Ermi really wants Levan in, he should decline a match in December. Yep. Don't disagree with you at all, Brockton. I know it's hard when you get all this money offered to you. You know what I mean? Like people, like I have had people message me and say you should only go live once a week, and I'm like, no way. Radio personalities go live every day. I'm very tempted to go live every day, and I almost might this week with all of my guests coming on the show. Well, actually, I will, because if I have tomorrow, for those that are joining late, I'll have Krasimir Kostadinov, the day after Hermes Gasparini, and probably the day after that, Ron Barth, and then in August, Big Loz, Lawrence Shillelagh. So, yeah. If Hermes really, Hermes just might be taking that match. If they do pull in December, if he's taking that match, that could just be to see where he's at. He might not be really gunning for the number one spot, because then he might sit there and go, right, I found the lane. I'm on here. I am on like there is no tomorrow. So, yeah. The official thing, is there, have we worked out who number 2 is in the world? Not even close. Not even close, because so many arguments, whether it's scoring systems, whether it's left for super matches, whether it's left for whatever. There's just no definition of getting a number 2. If we're counting tournaments as well, whatever we're counting, it's just not happening. It's just not happening. Levan says he'll pull in November or December. Realistically, Levan will pull either Hermes Gennady, Kadetcha Dave, or Monster Michael Todd in December. Yes, good. We want more Levan. We want more Levan, please. We want more Levan. How many votes have we got going? I'm going to leave the caption game up for one more minute, and then we will wrap up the show. Went a lot longer than what I thought I was going to do, but please join me and get some awesome questions in for Krasy, Hermes, Ron, and Big Loz. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. These big things. These awesome guys that are coming onto the show. I'm very honored, and it's because of the support of you guys as well that really make this show drive forward. You come in numbers, and I'm genuinely impressed with it all. Hope you've been, you guys just give up so much of your time to support the Aussie arm wrestler. You could be walking your dog and having me on, on what's it called? On loudspeaker, or you're sitting down and going, right, I need my daily dose of the Aussie arm wrestler. But we will get there. Can't wait to see Big Loz pull. Brockton wants to know, I don't know if Russians are allowed to travel, let alone get there. All right, I'm ending the poll. 3, 2, 1. Blast off. The poll is done. Who are our 3-pointers? Let's have a look. The winners are Juju Mugu goes to the top of the leaderboard. Juju Mugu with 3 points. Alex Z with 2 points. And 1 point to Jimbo H. He's joined Jimbo H with 1 point there. Quick super chat from Dan the Nightmare Schwartz. With his biohacking, he's doing really good things over there. Go check out Dan the Nightmare Schwartz. He says, just joined. Sorry I'm late. Ready, bang. We're just about to wrap up the show, my man. We're just about to wrap up. Give a quick g'day to Dan the Nightmare Schwartz. He's just a good guy. He's got a really interesting story, Dan does. So go check him out. So do we know who number 2 in the world is? No, because there was no clear-cut argument. We could have had 1,500 different sorts of arguments. And any time you have a clear-cut argument, I think someone just come over and say, Aussie, hold my beer. You're talking shit out of your ass. So we've got that one. Please, I will hopefully make a quick video to give people... No, I'll probably do a post. I'll do a post and then hopefully have the times, hopefully in your area of when I'm going live, because they're just a little bit different to my usual times, because I know it's 10 p.m. Italian time. No, 11 p.m. Write this down. 11 p.m. Bulgarian time. So that's under 24 hours. 10 p.m. Italian time on Wednesday night. So Wednesday, 10 p.m. Italian, Tuesday, 11 p.m. Bulgarian are my next 2. And then I've just got to double check a time and date for Ron to come on after that. Juju Mugu for the win and back to number 1 on the leaderboard. I thank all my lovely supporters and F the rest. The poll was clearly not rigged. And my super chat was after I won. No complaints. Juju Mugu. Thank you very much, Cliff, says praying that I wake up pain-free. Shane Elliott's coming in, says, my argument for Dennis being number 2 was he was number 1 before his health scare, and he has not lost to anyone that most people are arguing is number 2. So I think if he came back now, no one could beat him. Interesting. That's what I mean. No one could beat him now. Yeah, interesting take, Shane. Interesting take. But then, that goes back to how long do you get for injury? And we don't think Dennis's health will able to get back. So, it was a very scary injury that Devon did. His body shut up. Dennis did. His body shut down on him. But, yeah. Jake, any pulse on what's happening on with the Savage search? They're going through all the videos. I've watched a lot of them. I still have a few more to watch. I know that Neil has his a rough idea of who is top 10. Just wants to confirm for a few things. I do believe he'll probably wait till Uncle John comes back on the airways before we move on to the next round. There you go. All righty, you dead set legends. I'm going to wrap up the show. Thank you so much. If you can like the video before you head out. Guys, I cannot thank you enough for all your love and support. You guys make me so happy, and you make me just want to improve this channel so much. You make me want to think about arm wrestling all the time. Uncle John, come back. You dead set legend. In the meantime, I'm having superstars from all over the world in our sport and in others to come on the show. I'm hoping that I'm really going to take that big, all podcasts I take very seriously, but that big Loz one, I'm really hoping that'll be a good one, a really good one there. I am now, so once this computer goes off, I now just try and do some research on Crazzy and Hermes to have a bit of fun with that podcast and talk about everything that is East versus West. I love each and every one of you, and I'm seeing some of the names that have come back that 1 week ago were saying, I've unsubscribed to Aussie Arm Wrestler, he's a dick. So you guys have come back. I see you in the chat. Welcome back. Thank you for coming to your senses. I love you so much. I'm wrapping up the show now. Ready, bang. You fucking dead set legends. You are some of the best people in the world, and I'll speak to you soon when I go one-on-one with Krasmir Kostadinov. Keep being